Hey, it's Clay. Welcome to another Friday drive. It's a rainy day, but it's a good day to talk about some day trading results. Very recently, a little context here. A few weeks ago, I did a Friday drive where I talked about my month of September, and it was not a good month at all. It was very low. It was very shaky. Now, granted, I did some traveling, so I wasn't around to trade at all times, but I also did something really stupid, and that cost me a chunk of the gains, and it just wasn't a very good month. I'll put a link down below in the description section if you want to go and watch that video to get a little bit more context. And this will probably mean a little bit more to you if you watch that video, because you're going to see that what I'm talking about here, and you probably already saw from the title, but totally different results. And it's amazing what just a few weeks can do and how things can really transform that quickly. But that is really the life of a trader. You need to wrap your head around the fact that sometimes a day, a trade, a week, like you saw, a month, the month of September, it's just not going to go well. It's not going to turn out the way you would ideally like it. But that's the importance of having a true strategy and a strategy that you believe in and can trust, because if you just stick with it, let the strategy do its thing, let the rules of your strategy do its thing, it's just crazy how things ultimately correct themselves. You know, it's not always going to be like this extreme. But then again, I kind of set the bar pretty low with my September results because that was just such a bizarre, goofy month, and you sprinkle in the trading. But on the screen here, you can see that mid-October, and I'm just doing this over a 2-week period, so those are 10 days right there. And before I forget, full disclosure's sake, that is a manipulated image. I had another comment on a video saying, oh great, I got to get out my microscope to see the results that you're posting. So I decided to manipulate the image there, cut out some columns, so you could see the main things that really matter, and that is the dates, and then just the amounts that were made, the amount made after fees and commissions in the far right column. But right over $7,200 in 2 weeks. And then you go back and watch the September video if you don't want to watch it. I made, I think, like $1,800 in the month of September. So in 2 weeks, all of a sudden, I don't know what is that, quadrupled? Something close to the entire month of September. Now, October did get started off a little rough, but the last 2 weeks, as you saw there, have just been booming, and it's been very, very solid. But that's why you gotta just stick with the plan, stick with the strategy. Now, that the underlying dynamic there is, of course, you actually have to have a strategy. You actually have to have true rules. And as much as I wish I could say trading was this easy, buy low, sell high, yeah, that's not really a strategy. There's a little bit more to it than that. But if you do have that strategy, then one of the goals of this video is just to offer you up some encouragement that, listen, all traders go through rough patches. All traders have, bad periods, and they have situations where it can be frustrating. It can be just not very ideal at all, but that's okay. That happens to everybody. Now, some people may not necessarily portray that or disclose that. They may try to make it seem like, hey, the life of a day trader, it's always rainbows and butterflies and ice cream cones and kitty cats. But the reality is, yeah, sometimes those periods are going to hit. It's not going to be pleasant, but just stick with it and let your strategy, let your rule do its thing. Because just like I said, less than, I don't know, when was that? Probably like 5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, all of a sudden, much, much better in a very quick amount of time. I'm more than happy with, what does that average out to? I think about $700, we'll call it $720 a day. $720 a day for working right around 90-ish minutes per day at home, in my pajamas. I mean, let's keep things in perspective. That's, for me at least, that's definitely a good situation to be putting myself in. But then, of course, you have fellow member Dan, who I talked about a couple weeks ago, and that video was about how he made $10,000 in 1 week. But then he makes all this look really silly. I'll put the screenshot up. He posted it in the chat room. But he made like $15,000 in a day. So Dan, you're kind of a jerk. You make all this just look like it's pitiful. But that's Dan, and for those members of the community, I mean, Dan. I think the next day he actually had like an $800 loss on the day. So that's why I do like Dan, is it's not like he's always posting wins and then all of a sudden he just disappears for weeks on end because like he probably had a big loss. No, he posts his loss too. But point being, Dan also has rough patches, and he bounces back from them too. He just bounces back in the tune of $15,000 in 1 day. But overall, hopefully this can just inspire you and keep you motivated and just give you a reality check that, and that's why I say you really will get the best value if you watch that video back in September, because then you're going to see basically 2 videos back to back where things are rough. That's just how it goes. And then all of a sudden, as of right now, things are going very well. And, I can't complain, but just don't be discouraged. Don't get down on yourself, and don't go out there and start forcing trades. Don't go out there and start changing your strategy and changing position size and changing rules and your risk and all that for the sake of, last month or last week, or who knows, maybe even just yesterday was so frustrating, therefore I'm going to do this to try to correct it. No, don't do that. That's how bigger holes are dug, and I have a lot of experience with that. Don't let those emotions get to you. Just stick with it and let things play out, because 2 weeks, $7,200, or in Dan's case, one day, $15,000. Traders with the true strategy, traders with an actual rules-based system, it'll work itself out. I'm not saying it's easy from an emotional standpoint, but if you just learn to trust the system, things will take care of themselves. So just keep that in mind, and get out there, stay composed. Hopefully your October is going well too. But if not, if you're going through some frustrations, just stick with the strategy. But again, if you don't actually have a strategy, well, that's step one. But after you get that strategy that you know that works, just stay with it. Fight off those demons and those voices, and just stay with it, because you never know when things can turn around that quickly like they've done for me. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up, as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.